Greetings to all of the participants and the organizers of Impact 2023. The title of my presentation is Three Categories of Intangible Heritage and Three Degrees of Importance, the case of the Sama-Bajau Eagle dance tradition of Tawi-Tawi province, Philippines. Now, a chance encounter in YouTube with an uploaded video produced for the International Information and Networking Center for Intangible and Cultural Heritage in the Asia-Pacific region under the auspices of UNESCO, or ICHCAP, has prodded the writing of this piece. ICHCAP is a center based in South Korea that was established to promote intangible cultural heritage together with 48 UNESCO member states in the Asia-Pacific region. The documentary video labeled Philippines Eagle Dance UNESCO is the one that I will be presenting for you. Its title in the video itself is Igal, Traditional Dance of the Sama of Tawi-Tawi. Hereafter, I will call this ICH Igal video. This video is apparently produced by the NCCA team, ICH team, from the ICH links. This means that the Philippine government funds were used to create the documentation via the National Commission for Culture and the Arts. As the ICH Eagle video rests solidly on the resources and culture capital of the NCCA, as well as the ICH-CAP, great expectations are raised concerning the information that it contains, as well as the process it's followed in documenting Igal. What categories of Igal need to be included in a documentary film on the dance tradition? What types of key informants need to be interviewed for such an undertaking? What types of music need to be discussed in relation to the categories of Eagle dance? I will attempt to provide answers to these questions and to discuss issues that relate to them as I navigate my way through the contents of the ICH Eagle video. At the end of this piece, I will introduce an evaluation instrument in the form of a matrix that may help creators of documentary films in interrogating three different categories of Eagle. I believe that these instruments in modified forms can be useful in guiding documentation processes in other forms of intangible cultural heritage. Now, the ICH Eagle video is beautiful and poetic, as we can see for ourselves.
The flick of the finger, the sweep of the arm, the sway of the body, the bend of the knee, the lifting of the foot, the flight of eagles, the roll of the waves, the rocking of trees are mimicked, and something beautiful is conjured, as if recreating the world with emotion and rhythm. Manifesting in movements, the dancer also becomes one with nature and comes closer to the divine. For diverse reasons and occasions, and with many variations, the Sama people of Tawi-Tawi and the maritime Southeast Asia perform their traditional dance, the Igal. It is shared heritage among the Sama and other peoples in the Western Mindanao area. It is called Pangalay in Tausug and Pamansak in Yakan. All the names simply mean dance. According to Master Igal dancer Sakilor Ailin de la Sas, Igal is a dance of instinct. There are no studied movements, no repetition of gestures, no anticipation. It begins, It ends. The dance itself is an expression of spontaneity, like the surge of the waves, the flight of birds, the caress of the winds. It is a dance of the moment for the moment.
Somehow, 5 minutes through the film, my generally good feeling about this documentation turned into dismay when the unseen narrator declared what I have just flashed in the screen right now. Basically says that Igal is the same as the pangalay of the Tausug and the pamansak of the Yakan. This perspective is a hegemonic one, mainly espoused by Ligaya Fernando Amilbangsa in her seminal book, Pangalay, and echoed in her entry together with Rosalie Matilak and Earl Francis C. Pasilan on Pangalay / Igal / Pamansak in the CCP Encyclopedia of the Arts. I have long argued against this hegemonic and homogenizing perspective, along with many other scholars of the dance. Why are sets of dances with different movement aesthetics, musical accompaniment, costumes, and properties, as well as performance contexts considered one and the same? Why are three different ethno-linguistic groups construed to share the same tradition? The different labels that are not used as cognates across these groups indicate difference. Can they not be seen as related but distinct traditions? I will answer these questions as I discuss the different categories of Igal. At this juncture, I would like to point out to the holder of these perspectives that the practitioners of these three traditions are not one and the same. They sustain and transmit traditions that are not mutually inclusive to all three ethno-linguistic groups. Here is another clip with Ms. Sakinur de Lasas talking about slight differences among traditions.
First of all, yeah, Igal po, sa bamba niya, Muslim dance, it is not a Muslim dance. It is an ethnic, traditional, tribal dance of the Sama. Na bang Sama, bangko Sama, Igal. Bangko Tausug, Pangalay. It's a dance. Although, yeah, differences. The Sama of Tabawan, the Sama of Sinunul, the Sama of Sapa-Sapa, of Sibutu, niya slight differences na movements. But anyway, it is Igal.
Again, I must disagree with this assessment of slight differences. And for I have seen the Igal traditions of the Sama Sibutu, Sama Sitangkay, Sama Tabawan, and Sama Simunul. And I believe that the difference among them are nowhere near slight. For instance, I observed in the Tausug Pangalay a very smooth and slow horizontality in the dance. This accounts for the Pangalay's very refined demeanor. There's hardly any verticality or quick upward and downward movement done by hopping, jumping, or via knee extension, which we see a lot in the Igal. The other thing that bothered me about the video is the absence of ritual Igal. And ritual Igal is most important for a discussion of this type of dance would have revealed the overlapping spheres of cosmology, performance, and identity, especially among the Sama Dilaut or the Sama Sitangkay. Bruno Bottignolo, in his seminal work in 1995, notes the distinctiveness of Sama Dilaut religion from Islam. He calls this religion Ombo, thus centering this cosmology on the first man and the great Bajau ancestor. Sama-Bajau rituals invariably are referred to as Pag-Ombo and are thus dedicated to the Ombo and all the other ancestors that are able to commune with the living and to intercede in order to protect communities from illnesses, natural disasters, and other calamities. Eagle dancing is usually featured in major Sama-Bajau rituals. Eagle in rituals together with sacred music pieces played on the kulintangan, and some induces a conscious trance called patakahan. During such trances, ritual specialists or spirit mediums supposedly host the spirits of ancestors or their spirit guides, who then recommend certain actions to correct specific communal errors, heal individuals, or avert disasters or calamities. The picture that is flashed on the screen is the Pagkanduli ritual held in the island of Sikulan in Tawi-Tawi province. This is performed by the Sama Sitangkai from the nearby island of Sitangkai. The other thing that bothered me about the video is the absence of Igal in social contexts. Now, Igal is usually performed in merrymaking events called lami-lamian, usually done during wedding festivities and other celebrations. We see here, for instance, a picture from Hafzan Zaini Hamza of a pagsandang, or the presentation of the bride and groom, and in front of them are people dancing the Igal. And members of the audience go to the dancers to slip in notes or bills of money in between their fingers as a tribute to the skill of the dancer. Now, there are three types of Igal in social context. One is performed with a kulintangan ensemble. This is already becoming rarer, as what has become hegemonic in this social context is Igal performed to electronic organ or synthesizer. Another rare accompaniment is that of the gabang, which we rarely see nowadays. What has been captured by the ICH Igal video? The ICH Igal video prevalently captured theatrical Igal. Now, theater comes from the Greek word theatron, which means something that is meant for viewing. I therefore refer to theatrical Igal as something that is primarily choreographed or arranged for viewing. Theatrical Igal has a performance context as well as a performance site. This can be a school performance in a classroom or a basketball court, a commercial performance in a theater or auditorium, a free public performance in a field, or even performance done through the streets of a certain municipality, such as the choreographed street dance version of Igal, which was captured very shortly or briefly by the ICH Igal video in Simunul Island. Apart from the street dance performance context, the ICH Igal video does not capture any organic performance context in theatrical Igal. Capturing the performance context as well as the organic site of theatrical Igal is important because aspects of choreography and aesthetics, as well as audience-performer dynamics, may be seen to change depending on the context. ICH Igal video is only able to capture what it commissioned to be performed in an empty dock or pier, or an empty space fronting what appears to be a masjid, or an immobile reproduction of a lepa-lepa houseboat. None of these show organic spaces of real performances with specific context. Instead, they were staged for the production of the ICH Igal video itself. These scenes are not able to capture reality as it existed. They are instead directed scenes of choreographed dances for film. I would now like to go to the idea or notion of endangerment. Endangerment is directly related to the idea of rarity of the performance and the type of performance. And here in my first table, we will see that ritual Igal is the most rare among the different categories of Igal because they are performed according to determined dates and therefore quite infrequent. Following this would be social eagle, like the ones that we saw in the Lami-Lamian, and they are usually done during auspicious dates, usually associated with the coming of the full moon. Theatrical eagle, on the other hand, can be performed anytime, and therefore may be deemed to be quite common compared to ritual eagle or social eagle. Allow me now to present a definition of endangerment. What is endangerment? I adopt this definition from the UNESCO Statement on Language Vitality and Endangerment with slight modifications. Let me read. A performance tradition, form, genre, subgenre, or particular piece is endangered when it is on a path toward extinction. Without adequate documentation, a performance tradition that is extinct can never be revived. A performance tradition, form, genre, subgenre, or particular performance piece is in danger when its practitioners cease to perform it in an increasingly reduced number of communicative domains or performative domains, and cease to pass it on from one generation to the next. That is, there are no new practitioners, adults or children. Again, I adopt from the same statement a matrix for assessing performance endangerment. And here we will see that we have a whole continuum of safe, unsafe, definitely endangered, severely endangered, critically endangered, and extinct, with its related numerical valuation. Note that these degrees of endangerment all depend on the number of performers, particularly the number of the new generation or children who are introduced to the genre itself. With that, we can now apply the endangerment valuation to the different categories of eagle. And in this last table of mine, we see that ritual eagle is the most endangered, or we would call it severely endangered, with a valuation of 2. And this is primarily because of an aging population and also because of religion change. Following this would be social eagle, and within it, there are categories that have different endangerment valuation. The eagle, accompanied by the gabang, or this bamboo xylophone, is severely endangered, followed by the kulintangan knobbed gong ensemble, which is definitively endangered. And then we have the nearly the hegemonic form right now is the eagle accompanied by the electronic organ or synthesizer, which is found everywhere and performed quite frequently and therefore may be deemed as safe. Theatrical eagle is also quite safe because it can be performed anytime. And there are many permutations of this contemporary form of eagle. Allow me now to go to my conclusion. By understanding the existence of categories within a single tradition or intangible cultural heritage and their corollary degrees of rarity and endangerment, producers of documentary film will be able to decide whether or not to cast the widest net possible, that is to attempt to capture all types of categories, or to target specific categories that may be deemed to be the rarest or the most endangered. Such a decision cannot be done without proper knowledge of the intangible cultural heritage found in the field. In the case of Igal, as captured in the ICH Igal video, the casting of the net is most unfortunately not wide at all. It is also unable to reach a certain depth in knowledge production. The ICH Eagle video is only able to capture the theatrical eagle category. And again, Most unfortunately, except for a few clips of Street Eagle in Simunul Island, the ICH Eagle video is also unable to capture the socially embedded context of local theatrical performance. Likewise, instead, it appears that the producers directed scenes with eagle dancing to be captured at their own convenience. Now, the ICH team of the NCCA that produced this video could have avoided this failure by following good research protocols. First, the team should have reviewed the literature on Igal, which has been published both in the Philippines and elsewhere, in order to learn more about ritual and performance and other categories of the tradition. As the references in this piece indicates, much have already been published on the Eagle dance tradition in both the Philippines and Malaysia. Second, it should have gone to different sites where different manifestations of the Eagle dance can be observed. Limiting field work to provincial capital sites like the municipality of Bongao and the nearby municipality of Simunul severely constricts the range of Eagle categories and styles that may be observed. Finally, reliance on a few dance informants, in my count, 3 actual practitioners in the ICH Eagle video, also does not paint a full picture of the Eagle dance tradition as an intangible cultural heritage. It not only tends to cultivate hegemonic views of expertise at the regional centers, but it also renders mute the multiple voices and views of one of the most diverse performance traditions found not only in the Philippines or Malaysia, but in the rest of maritime Southeast Asia. And here is a picture of the ICH team directing their location shoot. And with that, I end this presentation. Magsukol, maraming salamat po. Terima kasih banyak. Thank you very much.